What's going on, nation? ukvapeuk here and welcome. Today another collaboration between Vape and Eden. Yes, the Dead Rabbit V2. So yeah, Eden was disappeared for a while, even though he was still making some devices. That is a bit weird, but he was not doing reviews. I think now he's back in the game. To be honest, I'm not subscribed to his channel, so I'm not really sure what's going on in there. But I'm pretty sure he's back in the game. And even though he released all the things like the Fat Rabbit and all the stuff like that, he also released now the V2, and it was a lot of excitement for this one. This one, same thing as the first one, few upgrades on airflow. You also say now when you purge, it's not going on your face. That's kind of lie. But obviously we go to all of that on the up and close. So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna dive down. Okay, so here is the box where your Dead Rabbit V2 comes in. User manual, one baggie with extra O-rings, 510 drip tip adapter, an extra 510 frosted, a nice one to be honest. You're gonna get, actually it's gonna be your squonk pin in here, but mine is already installed because I've been squonking on it, so I swap it. And you're gonna get some extra pull screws. They are Allen key grub screws. And you also get another extra baggie. This one will bring 2 Allen keys, so one for the pull screws, one for the squonk pin, and also one flathead for the screws that are already pre-installed in the RDA. And here is the main event. Yes, mine is the white one. So you're gonna have Dead Rabbit V2 on the bottom, Eden logo, Vape. Here is the squonk pin. Now it comes pre-installed with the normal one. I swapped it because I was in squonk mode. It protrudes more than enough if you want to use on a hybrid mechanical mode. Now don't worry with that, it's just mine is not closed all the way. On the top you're gonna have the new AG Plus drip tip. I kind of like this drip tip because they look kind of sexy. I don't really care about the AG, you know, like antibacterial. But it is very, very nice. And obviously all your 810s will fit here with the fat O-ring going on in there. Airflow is going to be pretty much the same as the first one. So on kind of angle. And so you're going to have those. I have to attach it because it's easy to control the airflow. So you're going to have those 2 big ports. But now you're also going to have, if you keep turning, here we go, honeycomb. If you want to run it in honeycomb style. And obviously you can dial it down, this one or the other one. Now, I don't know if I didn't mention, but it is a 24mm diameter RDA, and here you're gonna have your deck. Now the deck is the same, to be honest. I mean, you're gonna have, I don't have a original Dead Rabbit, I did sold mine, but as you can see the deck is pretty much the same. Now, when he released the first Dead Rabbit, it was an RDA called the Yup, or the Hup, and he had this deck, alright, and Ethan kind of came hard on it, said that he was copying his Dead Rabbit, and yes, he was, but now what he done, he actually copied the Yup, so I don't really know what's going on in there. I mean, I think those ones are a bit lower than the previous ones. The previous ones used to be a bit bigger. I'm pretty sure also the juice well looks a bit deeper now. You're still gonna have kind of access to cut your leaves, even though on this one is gonna be slightly harder because it got those lips that I'm pretty sure it wasn't on the first one. But the concept here is almost the same, you know, it's just a slight change on the deck and a slight change on the airflow. Other than that, this thing is exactly the same, you know. It's a 2-post configuration. Drop your coils in there. I'm even not going to remove mine. I think it's no point. I mean, it's not a lot to be learning here. I mean, just drop your coils and you're ready to go. Obviously, you want to kind of adjust the height to match the airflow to have a better flavor. But other than that, this thing is exactly the same. It squonks from the bottom right there when it's in squonk mode. And that's it. I mean, you're going to depend obviously in a lot of capillary action. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Slightly changing on the deck, obviously the pulse and here, and the airflow. And not much else going on. So let's throw some cotton in here and juice it up. And that's it. That's how simple it is to actually wick this bad boy. And even build, is not hard at all. So let me attach that top cap. Here we go. And we're ready to be rocking. So we're gonna come back on top. I tell you where you can get it, price, and we run to pros and cons. Alright, then we're back, and that was the up and close for the Dead Rabbit V2 by Vape and Heathen. So, where you can get it and price. Cigabuy.com for £16.80. £17. Pretty damn cheap, to be honest. Very, very cheap. So let's go to pros and cons. So, starting with cons. So, first con has to be Ethan really pushed that this one didn't purge. When you purge, didn't go on your face. Now, a lot of people say, oh, purging is not very popular anymore. I still purge. It is kind of a habit. Do I need to do it? No, but I have that habit. And he says it's not going on your face. That's not really what's happening. Look. See? It's on the side. Goes like that. But if I vape it normally, because it landed like that, goes on your face. Pretty warm. It's not very blissful. So, I don't know. So, I tried to change it for the honeycomb and say, oh, okay, so maybe it's on the honeycomb that is not going to be on your face. Guess what? Goes on your face. So I'll point that as a con. I mean, if you're really gonna push something, you're not gonna have that problem anymore. That when you purge, it's gonna be on your face. Well, I'm pretty sure you try it before you send it to the market. This one definitely goes on your face. So no changes in there. Another con is like, there's not a lot that you change on this one. Apart from putting honeycomb airflow, that I'm not really using it. I prefer the other one, the first one that he came out. And that he came out with a deck that he really, when the Yup, I think it was the Yup came out with that deck, he said, oh, they copy me, that's not right. And then he copied them. I'm not really following in there. I mean, it is what it is. Other than that, I mean, the cons are more like, you're not getting a lot of updates. This is practically a V1. It's not V2. It's even not V1.5. This is almost the same thing as the first one. So his way lands, people saying, oh, it's a cash grab. Look, a cash grab for me is when you give money for something and you get nothing in return, or you get something that is definitely not wearable or usable. That is a cash grab. In here, you're paying, but you get something in return. Now, it is something that you probably are expecting. Probably not. I mean, when you're waiting for V2, you're probably waiting for something completely new. This one is not going to really offer you a lot of new things. So that is my cons. Now, pros. Pros are almost the same as the first one. Now, what I like is the new colors. This one is the white one. I know it don't look pretty damn good in here, but the colors that they adapt now, so you're going to have more colors available. One of the things they were doing as well here in the UK, on the Expo, if you have the first version, they will give you a V2. You have to bring the first version to the Expo, to the Vape booth. You give it there, and they give you a V2 free of charge. Just to bring the audio. They have to include the boxes or the accessories, and they give you a V2 for free. That was pretty nice move from Vape. I mean, airflow is pretty damn good as the first one. Flavor is pretty damn good as the first one. Building pretty easy as the first one. Brings a lot of extras, extra 510, extra drip tip as the first one. I mean, yes, let's put it this way. If you own a V1 and you love your V1 and you're expecting, oh, I'm going to upgrade for the V2, going to buy a V2 because, it's going to be a lot of new things going on in there, stick with the V1 because it's not a lot, like I say, it's not a lot of changes going on this one. Now, if you don't own the first one, the first Dead Rabbit, obviously go for the V2. I mean, you're gonna get a bit more for your money. It is newer, unless you find a V1 extremely cheap. Other than that, I don't see any much innovation on this. I'm not really sure why Heathen really brought this V2, even though he didn't brought a lot of innovation down to a V2. Look, if I was Ethan and I had to name this, I'd probably name it a V1.5 or a facelift of the first Dead Rabbit. Definitely don't name it as a V2, or even though you're saying, oh, the airflow was extremely improved, now it's not gonna purge, when you purge it's not gonna go on your face. No, the airflow is exactly the same. It goes on an angle. This is the V1 with a slight facelift. So do I recommend it? Listen, if you love the first V1 and you want to try the V2, you're not going to find many differences there, but go for it. I mean, it's not bad, especially for this price. It's definitely not bad. If you don't want any of the first V1, go for the V2. I mean, you're going to get a bit more. You get honeycomb airflow, you get the normal airflow. You're going to get a bit more for your money. Other than that, I think it is definitely better RDAs out there on the market if you want to try something more innovating with maybe even more flavor. I mean, in the end of the day, yeah, it's not bad RDA, but like I say, it's probably better out there. So at the moment I have 0.17 built, 61 watts. I have a quarter of the airflow close. Let's have it. You got clouds, you got flavor, no doubt in there. I probably need a bit more power on this one, to be honest. Let's go 70 watts. Let's go 70 watts. I mean, you can pump a lot of watts depending, obviously, on the build that you put in here. Let's go wide open on this one. Gets a bit more noisy, but this is the kind of RDA that you can pump a lot of watts and it's still gonna be not too warm or too hot. Let's go for the honeycomb now, airflow. So honeycomb airflow wide open. This airflow is that kind of airflow that you kind of feel on an RTA, okay? When it comes from the top or from the side, it has to do more traveling. It is more like restrictive, not a massive restriction. Obviously from the wide open airflow, it is quite of a change there, but it's still pretty good. To me, personally, I like it to have like the first Dead Rabbit. I like to close a quarter of the way. You a good thing, you can readjust your barrel to hit your coil and you can see your coil right there. So that is a pro. And just vape it. I mean, like I say, in the end of the day, do I really recommend? Probably not. I think it's better RDAs out there. But if you're a big fan of the Dead Rabbit, you really want to try it. I mean, for £16, you can't really go wrong on this one. So I will leave the links on the description where you can grab one. Don't forget to join my Patreon for exclusive content. Other than that, I wish you all the best and I hope to see you in the next video. Till there, keep vaping.